Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
It's the InShow, Australia's only show dedicated to innovation from Adelaide, Australia, and across the globe.
It's David Grice and Troy Sincock. We've had the opportunity to talk to some incredible innovators over the last 6 months or so since starting the InShow podcast. And, you know, they used to call me Evil Dick in the playground, David. I wonder what they used to call this guy.
Did they really call you Evil Dick?
They did, I know. It's a real problem.
I wonder why.
I was offended in the beginning, but then it started just becoming every day and I didn't think anything of it.
Well, Scott Boocock, he's the CEO of Hegs Australia, is going to share with us his winning innovation cycle.
Yes, I call it the winning cycle, and the W is why, the I is idea, the N for network, N for no man's land, I for innovate, N for now the how, and G for go for it. Now the how's at the end there simply because the how's the easy part. There's Google, there's friends, there's network, but it's all about why you actually had the idea in the first place. The I is quite interesting. I like to talk about the I a lot because there's adults versus kids on this one. Adults have a real problem. They come up with an idea and then they really go, no one's going to buy it. No one's going to, what's it going to look like? I've got to make it the best. Whereas kids go, they come up with an idea and they just go for it. They just go, it's going to look like this, it's going to feel like this. And to give you an example of that is my kids 8 and 10. Took my phone away one day and for about 10 minutes and came back and said, here, Dad, here's an idea. And what they'd done was put a broom and a mop together, taped it together and said, there you go, you can broom and mop at the same time. Well, that's pretty cool. I said, but how are we going to sell it? I said, so we sat down and we came up with some marketing ideas and we said, why don't we call it the Bop? And so it was all about the sell and we said, it's great to have the idea, but how are we really going to make it an item, give it some personality, I guess. Anyway, that Bop now has a coffee machine in the middle of it, just in case you want one halfway around the house. But the story is the idea with kids. They love coming up with ideas, so we should enhance and embrace and actually educate them on how to take those to market.
That was Scott Boocock from Hegs Australia.
Now, tomorrow there's no podcast. We're just going to sit back and have a couple of beers. I think it's going to be a hot day, isn't it?
Great idea. Well, it's going to be hot somewhere.
It will be hot somewhere. So wherever you are in the world and it's hot, we're having a beer just for you.
I can tell you what's been very hot at my workplace. Air conditioner broke. It has been a freaking nightmare.
Oh, dear.
You know, it could be 21 degrees outside. It's like summer all year round at work.
Oh, my goodness. So the heater's working instead of the cooler.
Well, there's something wrong. I've got to get that fixed.
Yeah, you better.
Okay, well, that's a great reason to not have something for the podcast.
Yeah. Well, join us again on Friday and we'll just give you some inspiration for the weekend.
Good idea.
The InShow, What's In? Subscribe to the InShow podcast on iTunes. A Dave and the Beanstalk production.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.